Hello again. What did I read? Oh yeah, I know. I read that the Syrian rebel freedom fighters are going to be sending a delegation to Washington to meet with the chosen one. And what they want to do is they want to see if they can get more heavy equipment, weaponry. And what they say their agenda is to take the country and get the masses, the majority, to work effectively with the minority. What does that mean? Well, let me explain what that means. The minority of Muslims are Shiite. The majority of Muslims are Sunni. The Shiite control the Sunnis. They did in Libya until Obama intervened with the United Nations and destroyed the military that was there protecting the ruler, Omar Gaddafi. Libya is now controlled by the Muslim Brotherhood. Oh, by the way, when Gaddafi was in power, there were no Muslim Brotherhoods in Libya openly. They might have been hidden underground, but there weren't any openly. Now, they're in control of the country. Now, the problem with the Shiite and the Sunni is compounded dramatically because there's subsects within each one of those sects. And they all have their own agenda. And none of the agendas mesh. None of them have for centuries. So I'd like someone to explain to me what this delegation from Syria intends to accomplish by telling this administration that what they want to do is they want to get the majority to work together with the minority. You sort of wonder if that's really what their intent is, since all they're doing is slaughtering them. And we're now going into the fourth year of a war that's being supported, funded, armed, equipped by this administration. You know, the guys that are in Washington. You have to sort of ask yourself a couple of questions. How could they do this without congressional approval? Well, we know that they did it subversively because of Benghazi. That's what Benghazi was all about. That's what all those survivors were doing at the annex and at the CIA facility. They were supplying weapons. Whose weapons? Well, the weapons that used to belong to the Libyan ruler, Omar Gaddafi. Yeah, he had a massive stockpile of weapons. And the administration had the CIA annex there to distribute those weapons from Libya into Turkey so they could find their way to the battlefields. You notice I said the battlefields. Have to ask yourself a question. How many of those weapons end up in Afghanistan in the hands of al-Qaeda? How many do you think end up in the hands of al-Qaeda in Afghanistan? That do what? That are used against our military. It's totally insane. When you look at all the pieces of the puzzle, it's totally insane that this madness is allowed to continue. Sadly, there's no way to stop it. No. This administration has infiltrated every aspect of our government. There's Muslim Brotherhood operatives in key cabinet positions. You don't get any higher than the Oval Office, and that's being run by Barack Hussein Obama. If he wasn't willing to equip, supply, train the al-Qaeda, they wouldn't have the weaponry that they have. They wouldn't have been able to sustain a 4-year war in Syria. At the most recent guesstimate, over 150,000 Syrians have died. That couldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened if this administration wasn't providing the weapons. I did a couple of videos recently, and I talked about how this administration is now providing rockets, anti-tank weapons. It's insane, folks. It's completely and totally insane. And you know what? There's not a damn thing any one of us can do anything about it. Just sit back. I was going to say enjoy the ride, but how can you? Go along for the ride until the ride comes to an abrupt end, which inevitably it will. So what do you think? You think it makes sense to have a Syrian delegation of al-Qaeda, rebel freedom fighters, be a guest of the White House? I wonder if they're going to visit Obama's White House mosque. I believe that there is one in the White House. There's a lot that I believe. Then again, I've been focused on this for 16 months. You get to learn a whole lot about what I wish I never had to learn about. It's scary, folks. It's all going to percolate and explode real soon. That's what I think. So what do you think? Tell me where you think I'm wrong. Sadly, you can't.